And ABC News medical contributor and physician at Stanford Children's Health, Dr. Lok Patel, is here with more on this. Dr. Patel, thanks for being here. You know, health experts are calling this number of RSV cases in Orange County unprecedented. Many hospitals nationwide have already reached capacity. So what happens as cold and flu season ramps up?
Well, there's a lot of unknowns here, Diane, and it could be pretty dire because, as you mentioned, cases are higher than usual. They're also coming earlier than usual. Now, RSV traditionally is going to hit hospitals in the early part of the year, January, February, March. So what's going to potentially happen throughout the rest of winter, we're not sure. And what part is influenza going to play, which usually also hits hard later. Now, we know on an average year, around 60,000 kids under the age of 5 will be hospitalized from RSV. Hundreds of thousands of kids die globally from this as well. So this could potentially be a bad season, which is why this public health emergency, this declaration and awareness are all needed to make sure that parents are aware, physicians are aware, and that resources are being poured in where it matters.
Dr. Patel, this week Pfizer released some new data on a possible RSV vaccine for pregnant women. How significant is that?
This is a huge step forward, Diane, and potentially could be life-saving for young babies. Now, basically what the data showed is that when pregnant women are given this vaccine in the late second or early third trimester, there is an up to 80% reduction in severe illness in their newborn babies for up to 3 months. It's basically those antibodies that are passed down from the mom. And even though the protection goes down, it's still pretty significant at the 6-month mark at around 60%. So this is a huge step forward in protecting the most vulnerable, those young babies also. And Pfizer did release some data showing that there's a protective effort in their vaccines against senior citizens as well. So Pfizer is set to submit a vaccine to the FDA for both the elderly and pregnant women. We're still waiting to see what the vaccine trials will look like in the future for those older children as well who are also at risk.
Now, this vaccine won't be available until next year at the earliest. So in the meantime, what symptoms should parents be on the lookout for, and what can families with young children do right now to try to protect their kids?
Well, I'll just tell everyone what we do over here because my daughter seems to get a cold every other week. Now, one of the most important things to do is make sure your kids are still staying hydrated and eating, even if that's in little snacks. Kids who are sick and stuffy tend to eat and drink a little bit less. Dehydration can show up really quickly and help make their breathing easier. Those stuffy, congested noses can make sleeping miserable, can also make it harder for kids to breathe. You can try something like a humidifier or mist to loosen up that thick mucus. Also, Diane, you have young kids as well. We never travel without one of these, a nasal aspirator. So nasal suction can also help remove some of that junk, making life easier for kids as well. And also, and most importantly, know when to call a doctor if symptoms seem severe or they're going prolonged, or if your kids are having trouble breathing, meaning using their chest muscles to move air. Really, they're taking a lot of effort to take a breath. Call a doctor, seek medical care ASAP.
That's great advice, Dr. Patel. And if you don't have young kids, don't Google how to use that nasal aspirator. It's not as gross as it looks. Dr. Patel, thank you.
It's satisfying. I'm just going to say that. It is satisfying.
We'll leave it at that. Dr. Patel, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.